There is no country or region in the world which does not provide mobile radio communication. It is therefore important to know how mobile phones have grown to such a dominant position, even surpassing landline phones. This topic intends to bring out two key factors which contributed to the success of cellular radio technology. One is frequency reuse and the other is the method of handoff. We shall study the concept of frequency reuse. Early mobile radio systems used a single cell concept. In this scheme, a typical example being a police wireless communication, a city or geographical entity was provided radio frequency coverage by a single tall tower mounted with antennas and RF transmitters and receivers. Let us see the implications of such a scheme. Assume a frequency band of 1 megahertz is allocated for such a scheme. We further assume that frequency modulation is used and each channel has a bandwidth of 25 kilohertz. So, the total number of channels available would be 1 megahertz divided by 25 kilohertz, which provides 400 total channels. In other words, at any given time only 400 subscribers would be able to make telephone calls. If the 401st subscriber was to use the radio channel, he or she would only receive an engaged tone indicating that all lines are busy. In a big city or town, 400 channels would be insufficient for thousands of subscribers. One option available would be to increase the frequency spectrum and request the government to provide more bandwidth. As frequency bandwidth is a rare commodity, this approach is uneconomical and does not use the spectrum resource optimally. Moreover, large radio frequency power needs to be transmitted so as to cover a large area. This has implication on the subscriber handset size, which needs to accommodate a large power amplifier, and battery power, which will get drained out quickly. The channel limitations was overcome in the modern cellular mobile radio systems like GSM by applying the scheme of frequency reuse. In this method, a geographical area is divided into hexagonal cells as seen in the figure. Each cell is a small area with a mobile tower and antennas mounted on the tower, dissipating radio frequency energy to cover the cell area. Subscribers within this cell connect to the tower wirelessly. To prevent interference, the same frequency band is not used in adjacent cells, but is reused at some distant cell. In this way, by repeatedly dividing geographical areas into smaller and smaller cells and reusing frequency bands, we can provide thousands of channels for subscribers to use. There would be no call blocking and revenue generation does not get affected. In figure, we see several cluster of cells A, B, C, D, E, F. In our earlier example, we had 400 channels. These channels are divided into 7 sets equal to 400 by 7 or approximately 60 channels per cell or 400 per cluster. This implies that a maximum of 400 subscribers can use the spectrum within a cluster. Now, the same frequency bands are used in other clusters, taking care to see that adjacent cells do not use the same set of frequencies. That is, frequency carriers used in cell A are reused in cell A of the next cluster. This way, we divide an area into clusters and reuse the frequencies. Cells A are called co-channel cells. A and B or B and C etc. are called adjacent cells. So, if frequencies F1, F2 up to F40 are used in cell A and F41 to F80 are used in cell B, the same set F1 to F40 is used wherever cell A is seen in the figure. This scheme overcomes interference between subscribers by reducing the power transmitted from the tower which houses the base station equipment, so that radio waves get heavily attenuated before they reach core channel cells. This method avoids interference from one cell A in one cluster to another cell A in the next cluster. Handoff. A technologically intensive method is used to keep conversations continuous when a subscriber moves from one cell to another. In the earlier schemes, a subscriber had to redial when he or she moved from one cell to another. In the modern cellular system, the method of frequency handoff is used when a subscriber moves from one cell to another. Let us elaborate. A subscriber is speaking on his mobile while in cell A. The system allocates a pair of frequencies, say F10 and F10 dash, with which he communicates with the mobile tower. Assume that he moves into the adjacent cell B while still conversing. F10 and F10 dash are not in the frequency carrier cluster of cell B. So, when the subscriber moves to cell B, the GSM system reallocates the carrier frequency to say F50 and F50 dash to this subscriber. F50 and F50 dash are within the cluster dictionary of cell B. The frequency change is brought about seamlessly or automatically by elaborate measurement of RF strength of the mobile phone through intensive processing of information at the mobile switching center or base station controller. Once the mobile handset switches over to the new pair of frequencies, the earlier used pair of F10 and F10 dash become free for others to use. There are various algorithms used to determine when a mobile handset should be handed over to the next cell and the reallocation of frequency pairs. These two techniques, one the frequency reuse concept and the handoff technique, have revolutionized the mobile radio and made seamless movement possible across large geographical areas. Any study of mobile systems, be it AMPS or GSM or CDMA systems, these concepts are needed to compare and analyze channel capacities, power to be transmitted both by the mobile handset as well as by the base station or tower equipment. You can understand the complexity of the handoff mechanism, since thousands of calls have to be handed off at any given time. A handoff algorithm should have less computation time, accuracy and perform handoff before the signal becomes so weak that the call gets dropped. The hexagonal shape of cells are taken for the mathematical modeling and does not imply that in practice radio coverage exactly falls into the cell area. The hexagonal cell provides greater accuracy than using a circular cell or square or rectangular cell, because the distance from the center to the edge is almost the same as compared to the square or rectangular shape, where the diagonal length is more than the perpendicular distance. In case of circular shaped model, they could result in overlapping areas or central areas not covered, and hence circular shaped models are avoided for frequency planning. To conclude, the cellular concept was a major breakthrough in solving the problem of spectral congestion and user capacity. It offers very high capacity in a limited spectrum allocation without major technological changes. Handoff mechanism is an important task in any cellular radio system. Handoff requests are given priority over call requests, so as to provide continuation to a call in progress while the subscriber is on the move. Finally, we should not forget that radio propagation characteristics determine the effectiveness of all these methods. Thank you.